Hey everybody, I'm Ashley Stone, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about making a decision. So, I actually started a business with a network marketing company when I was 21 years old. That was 18 years ago. Yes, I'm that old. And I had no idea what I was getting involved with. So, I literally signed up the first night that I heard about it. Just said like, hey, I'm in, let's get this started. It was cheap to get involved. I had always watched my parents be entrepreneurs, and I thought, hey, this is a way that I can start a business where I don't have to own a franchise. I don't have to have tons of money. I can just start without inventory and make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. So I signed up the very first night that I heard about it, and was so excited to go and share it with everybody. And I got to the first level within my company within a couple of months, and that is where I stayed for almost 7.5 years. So for almost 7 years, it was 6.5 years, so almost 7 years, I just couldn't seem to move forward, could not figure it out. And when I look back now, there's so many reasons that I think that was the case, but the main reasons were, number one, I was not consistent. Number one, I did not have belief, which I'm going to circle back to in just a second. And number three, I never did quite make a decision to go for it and to do what it takes. So what do I mean by that? Well, number one, I wasn't consistent. Within my industry, we typically tell people if you want to be successful, then you need to share what you're doing with at least 30 people a month. Okay, that's just like the magic number, 30 people a month. Well, I wasn't doing that. After over 6.5 years, probably never did I actually share it with 30 people a month, maybe 1 month out of those 6 years. So when I actually decided to get serious, I actually wrote like a sob story email to one of my mentors in the business who didn't really know who I was. And I was like, I don't know why I can't move forward. I think nobody takes me seriously, and I can't get anybody to join my team. And I'm just not doing, why are all these other people succeeding and I'm not? And she asked me, well, if the system is to get in front of 30 to 40 people a month, how many months have you done that in the 6.5 years that you've been in business? And I said, well, probably maybe 6. And you guys, that was an exaggeration. But I said six months out of the 6.5 years. And she said, okay, great. Then you've been in business for 6 months. You haven't been in business for 6.5 years. Just because you've signed up for something does not mean that you're in business. It means that you have an account. It means that you have the ability to be in business, but you're not actually in business if you're not following the business plan and the system. It's no different than lots of people have gym memberships. That doesn't mean they're going to the gym, right? That doesn't mean they are a fit person. It might mean that they have a membership. But if you're not utilizing that membership, it does you absolutely no good. And the same is true of our industry and most industries where you're any kind of an entrepreneur, where you're in charge of your own schedule and your own success or failure within something. And so, number one, I was not consistent. I would go hard and, be really busy for 1 month, and then somebody would quit or somebody would tell me no, and I would get discouraged and I would pull back. Okay, so after pulling back the next month, then I would have to start the momentum all over again, because I'd go to some meeting or I'd hear some training and I'd get fired up and then I'd get going again. The problem with that is that if you're constantly going up and down, you can't ever gain traction. You're just on a roller coaster ride. And that's where I was for almost 6 years in my business. Or almost 7 years, 6.5. I keep messing that up. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that I had not, made a decision. I had not committed really to doing what it took. I had so many excuses, guys. I thought that because I joined when I was young, that people didn't take me seriously. Well, that's funny now because a lot of the younger generations are just killing it within our industry of affiliate marketing and everything else. But when I joined, I was kind of one of the younger ones within my company. And I thought, I don't have a network. I don't have a sphere of influence. I'm young. People don't take me seriously. All of the excuses. And I'll never forget that once things shifted for me and I actually went to a training that um, I was actually going to speak at, because I had gotten to kind of one of the, top levels of the company. I went to that training and I was standing in line with an older woman, and she said to me, I'm so inspired by you. You've done so amazing, and I just can't seem to move forward. And I think it's because I'm too old. And I started laughing so hard, because here it was, she was telling herself that she was too old, and I was telling myself that I was too young for so many years. And I told her, I said, it's so comical that what held me back is the exact opposite of what held you back, because we were just telling ourselves stories that aren't true. We just tell ourselves these things and we use them as excuses. So it wasn't until I decided to take 100% responsibility for my own actions that really things changed. And, that's where the belief comes in. At the end of the day, I don't think I truly believed that I could make this happen. And I don't think I truly believed in my industry that I was in. I think I had a few doubts about that. And so I knew that I had to go to work educating myself. I knew that I had to go to work growing my belief. When I started this business, I heard everybody talk about personal development, and I thought that that was for shy people. Truly. I thought, I don't need that because I'll talk to anybody. Guys, if you think you don't need personal development, that is a sign that you need it more than anybody. So I decided to double down, triple down on my personal growth and development in what I was listening to, reading. I decided to educate myself on the industry. But most importantly, I made a decision. I made a decision to stop making excuses, to take 100% responsibility for the ups and downs within my business, to take 100% responsibility for everything that was happening. And when I decided to make a decision, it was a decision to do what it took to get to the top of my company. And when I decided to do whatever it takes to get there, that's when things really began to change for me. I began to become consistent. I began to, pick up my pace within the business. I began to get up faster when I would have setbacks. And I used to really get irritated when people would say, well, make a decision or just believe. And I'd think, oh my goodness, I believe already. I believe. But the belief and the decision is really saying, I'm taking responsibility and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, even when things get hard, even when I don't know what to do next. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm willing to do what it takes. No excuses. Life is always going to happen. I hate when people say life happens. Of course, life happens. That's life. But what are you doing and in the in-between? Are you setting yourself up for success so that when things do get hard, you can rebound faster, you can get up faster, you can continue moving forward? Guys, build your belief, work on yourself, and make a decision. You've got this.